What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over a basketball game for Saturday, December 31st, 2022. I'm going to show you highlights of each side, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And I wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks for this game, for this day. Let's go ahead and get into the game. We're going to be looking at the Nets versus the Hornets in Charlotte. And the only reason why I'm looking at this game, the Nets versus the Hornets, is because I want to kind of follow the Nets' current winning streak that they're on. They have a 10-game winning streak. I want to see if it goes any further than that. I thought it would just be interesting to look at. This is definitely not looking at this for a betting standpoint. Just because I know there's no line here, but I'm pretty sure the Nets will probably be favored in this game. They'll probably be favored by, I don't know, 6, 7 points, maybe more. So I'm not really looking at it for a betting standpoint. It's more of a just follow the winning streak and just see if they keep winning, or maybe the winning streak comes to an end. But on this side of the screen, let me get this up. On this side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. And then on this side of the screen is what I call my game numbers, numbers specific to the game. The way that I have it structured here is I have the road team up top, their coach's record, their season record, their road record, any type of notes I want to add, such as a winning or a losing streak. In the middle is the all-time head-to-head records between the two teams, as well as for the regular season, as well as for this season in particular. And then at the bottom is the home team, their season record, their home record, any other notes I want to add, as well as their coach's record. So let's go ahead and jump right into this game for Saturday, Nets versus the Hornets. I'm going to start with the home team. I'm going to go over some numbers for the home team to win. And then I'm going to go over some numbers for the road team to win. I had it on a different date. Here's the 31st. Okay. All right. So starting with the Hornets, if the Hornets were going to end the Nets' 10-game winning streak, the first thing that I would point out is my bias number. My bias number is 128, 182, 218. Just the different combinations of the 1, the 2, and the 8, or the 8, the 2, and the 1, or the 2, the 8, and the 1, or whichever way you want to orchestrate those three numbers. The Nets, they could become 12-8, like 128 on the road with the loss, as their coach becomes 28-11 for a record regular season as a coach for the Nets specifically. You have that 281, the 128. It's my bias number, these three numbers, the 2, the 8, and the 1, or the 1, the 2, the 8. That could be a reason why the Nets end their 10-game winning streak. The coach would get his 11th loss regular season as a coach specifically for the Nets with the win, or excuse me, with the loss. Let me say that again. The Nets coach would get his 11th loss regular season as a coach for the Nets. And it will be the last day of the year, December 31st. 31 is the 11th prime number. It's a day with 85 date numerology on the Gregorian. 85 sums to 116. Hornets could become 6-11 for a home record with the win. 6-11 is just an anagram of 116. Hornets would get their 11th win for the season on the 31st of December, the last day of the year. 31, the 11th prime number, as the Nets coach gets to that 11th loss. It is a day with 13 date numerology on the Gregorian. The Nets can get their 13th loss for this season, as their coach gets his 169th loss regular season all-time for his career. 169 mathematically has a square root of 13. 13 times 13 sums to 169. He would sit on 86 wins regular season for his career with the loss in the Nets' 19th road game for the season. If you write out the number 19, it sums to 86. Also sums to 41, the 13th prime number. And then Hornets would get their 58th all-time head-to-head win against the Nets on a day with 85 date numerology. 85 and 58, they're just anagrams of each other. It being the 121st regular season head-to-head matchup between these two teams, mathematically speaking, 121. There's a square root of an 11, it being the last day of December. December 31st, 31, the 11th prime Hornets can get their 11th win, as they sit on 11 home losses with the win. And the Hornets, they would become 1-2 head-to-head against the Nets for this season with the win, as the Nets sit on 12 road wins with a loss. 1-2, 1-2. And it will be a day with 49 date numerology on the Gregorian. 49, if you write it out, sums to 126. Hornets would become 11-26 for a season record. We can actually block that out all in gray because it looks like a 126. And that's what I would put for the Hornets to win this game. Am I missing something? If I'm missing something, put it in the comments below. But Hornets do have some numbers here. They have that 11-26, the 13, the 86-169, my bias number 128-281 for the Nets coach, the 6-11 for a home record with a win. So they do have some numbers here for a potential upset to knock the Nets off their winning streak. The Nets, when they got their 10th win in a row, they got it against a Hawks team that didn't have Trae Young playing, and they didn't have, I think, another couple players that weren't in, and they barely won by 1 point. They won by 1 point, and it wasn't even a full Hawks squad facing against the Nets. So anything can happen, I suppose. Keep that in mind. The Nets did win, but they won by 1 point, even though I think they were favored by more than that. But let's move on to the Nets. What are some numbers here for the Nets to win this game?
Sorry to interrupt this video, you guys, but I need a huge favor from you. Can you go ahead and like this video and leave a comment below on who you think's going to win? It's going to help with the YouTube algorithm. It's going to help grow my channel. I really appreciate you guys being here. Let's go ahead and get back into the video.
Well, if we would look back to the number 31, it being the last day of the Gregorian year, the 31st of December. 31 is the 11th prime number. The Nets are looking for their 11th win in a row. If they do get that, they would become 12-7 on the road for the season with the win. 127 mathematically is the 31st prime number, 31 being the 11th prime number. It being the 31st of December, the last day for the year. The Hornets, they would become 10-27 for a record for the season with a loss, which kind of looks like a 127. But also the number 27, if you write it out, 27 sums to 125. And the Hornets can get their 27th loss for the season as they become 5-12 for a home record with a loss. 5-12, 125. They're just anagrams of each other. It is the 273rd day of the Hebrew religious side of the calendar. And the Hornets coach can get his 372nd loss regular season for his career, 372, 273. They're just anagrams of each other. And it will be the 39th game regular season for the Nets coach, as a coach specifically for the Nets. The Nets can get their 24th win for the season. 24, if you write it out, sums to 167, the 39th prime number. It also sums to 103, the 27th prime number. Could also be a reason why the Hornets get their 27th loss for the season. And then it will be a day with 65 date numerology on the Gregorian, and the Nets can get their 65th regular season head-to-head win against the Hornets, as they get their 69th all-time head-to-head win against the Hornets to go with. 65 and 69 are identical in all 4 base ciphers. And that's what I would put for the Nets to continue their winning streak, potentially picking up that 11th win in a row. The next game for the Nets actually is going to be on Monday. They're going to be facing the Spurs at home. And Monday is going to be January 2nd, written 1/2. So if the Nets do win this game and get their 11th win in a row, it could set them up to get their 12th win in a row on January 2nd, written 1/2, as they sit on 12 losses for this season. And they'll be playing against the Spurs. Spurs currently sit on 12 wins for the season. We'll see if they come into this game still sitting on 12 wins for the season. Let's see if the Spurs are playing tomorrow. Are they playing? They're playing. They got to be playing Saturday then. So interesting enough, Spurs are going to be playing at home on Saturday, and then they play on the road on Monday. So technically, if they don't win on Saturday, they could come into Monday's game sitting with 12 wins for the season, where they could potentially pick up their 12th road loss, as Nets sit on 12 losses for the season with the win, as well as looking for their 12th win in a row, assuming that they beat the Hornets. But that's what I got for right now for both sides. I really hope this video helps. Hopefully it gets you started on a decode, adds to a decode that you already have. Like I said, this isn't a game that I'm doing for betting purposes. I'm just doing this just to follow the winning streak to see if the Nets do get their 11th win in a row, or if they potentially end with 10-game winning streak. If Hornets do become 11-26, Nets can get that 13th loss. 169 for the coach. Also, something else is the word Nets. The word Nets sums to 13 and 58. This could be a spot for them to lose. 58th all-time head-to-head win. The Hornets could pick up, and they can get their 13th loss. One thing I failed to mention for the Hornets as well in their favor, it is the 126 all-time head-to-head matchup between these two teams. That can also go with the Hornets becoming 11-26. So there's definitely some numbers here for the Hornets to upset, but we'll see what actually takes place and what really unfolds after the game is over on Saturday. I will be making a pick on this game either way. Yeah, hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you insight to the game. Add to a decode you already have, or get you started on a decode. I really appreciate you guys watching. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you guys in the next video.